All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the final part of the show, I got my AFC East standings predictions. So, like I said, we're going to try to get through these divisions. I'm going to try to double them up. Well, tomorrow we'll do two. And then on Thursday, we'll do the last one. So we'll do the AFC West, which is actually fitting because the Chiefs do play that night, so that's when we'll do it. So these are now I kind of have to adjust the I have to adjust the graphic here because I literally just put it in now, but yeah, that's what we got. So I actually did have the Jets winning when I went back and I was listening to my when I watched my my schedule predictions for the Jets. I had the Jets winning 12 games, and I was like, mm-hmm. And in the video I was like, oh yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I feel like 12 games is a little too much. I mean, I know I still got them in 11, but I was like, I don't really know about 12. So I gave them 11, and I got the Dolphins and the Bills both finishing at 10-7, and then the Patriots at 4-13. Look, you guys know me. I have been high on the Jets all off season, and I know it's a big risk because they could definitely blow up in my face, but I just feel like with the talent that they got and with the defense, the offensive line retooled, got Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and healthy Aaron Rodgers, I do think this team will be more competitive and will be a playoff team when we get to January. And I think they're going to finish on top of the division. Now, it's not going to be easy. And I wouldn't be surprised if, it ends up blowing up in my face. But I'm willing to give the Jets one more shot. One more. And if it doesn't pan out, then, this team is going to get blown up. You're not going to have, Saleh is going to get let go, Joe Douglas, Nathaniel Hackett, Rodgers is probably gone. And you're probably going to have a new regime coming in. Like, there are so many jobs that are on the line with this year. So they really got to hope that it pans out. But yeah, I'm drinking that Jets Kool-Aid, and I'm going to say that Aaron Rodgers gives us one more good year. Now with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall has another big year behind an improved offensive line, and that defense continues to play well. And now is backed by let's see how this defense now plays when they have an offense that can actually generate points and an offense that they can rely upon. And look, I know Aaron Rodgers is coming off of a major injury, and he's 40 years old. Odds are stacked against him. But you know what? The odds have been stacked against him a lot over the course of his career. And at times he responds. And I think this is one of those cases. Now, I know he only has one Super Bowl, and I wish he would have won more. But I think at least for this year, he's going to respond, and he's going to take the Jets to the playoffs. Now, how far they're going to go in the playoffs remains to be seen, but I think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will be playing in January. I do believe that. So, I got them in first place. The Bills and the Dolphins, I both got a 10-7. I know I talked about the Dolphins earlier in the show. I do think they will continue to struggle against better teams until proven otherwise. I think with the Bills, I still think they're going to be a good team, but I don't think they're going to be one of those. I don't think they're going to be a top 2 seed. Well, in order for them to do that, they got to win the division. But yeah, I think the Bills and the Dolphins, they're going to be looking to try to get in through the wild card. So, but I mean, I still think they're going to be good. You know, they're going to be in the thick of it. And look, I mean, I got the Jets winning the division. So, you know, it's possible that that doesn't happen and one of these 2 teams wins the division. But for me, I got them battling it out in the wild cards. And we'll see who makes it and who doesn't. So, got those 2 teams there. And then got the Patriots at 4-13. You know, this is a rebuilding year for them. And Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter. Drake May probably will come in at some point later in the year, which I guess is the right approach. Drake May did look good in the preseason, but, you know, how the offensive line looks, I mean, I don't think people really want to see him get sent out there. So I'm fine with what the approach that they're taking. But yeah, this is kind of how I have the AFC shaping out. Even if the records aren't, like I said with the last division, even if the records aren't accurate, this is how I see it playing out. And I know it's out, it's a take, and I know a lot of my friends who are Jet fans may not agree with it because, you know, they expect the worst. But I am going to be optimistic. And I'm hoping that, I mean, the biggest thing for me is I'm just hoping Aaron Rodgers goes out there and plays well and doesn't get hurt again. That's really what I'm hoping for. Because I've said it, I just don't want him to go out like he did last year. You know, I want him to go out on some sort of a high note. You know, if this is it for him. So, and I think the arm strength is still there. The mobility is not, but that's expected. I mean, he's 40 years old. But if he's healthy and he plays, you know, good enough, you know, the Jets can, you know, finish with a winning record and, you know, maybe make the playoffs. So, that's my thoughts on the AFC East. Let me know what you guys think. How do you see this division playing out? So last night, I wanted to bring this up before we ended off the show here. So last night, Florida State and Boston College played. Now this is going to the world of college football. And Florida State lost again. They're now 0-2. And huge win for Boston College. But, yeah, I mean, the bigger story is Florida State losing. I mean, the final score of that game was 28-13, I believe. Yeah, it was an ugly loss. DJ Uyunglele, he threw for 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception he had. Florida State ran the ball for only 21 yards. But yeah, it was just an ugly loss. And, you know, this really puts their playoff hopes on life support. And it's just been a disappointing stretch for them because, you know, you got Jordan Travis get hurt late in the year last year. They don't make it into the playoffs. You know, they're upset because they went undefeated and they were on the outside looking in. Then they lose. They get destroyed by Georgia in the bowl game. that they played. Then they lose last week against Georgia Tech. And now they lose here at home. So it hasn't been a good stretch of games for them. And, who knows what ends up happening from here. But, yeah, 0-2 to start the year after going undefeated last year. It's unfortunate. But we'll see, if they can right the ship and get things back on track. But not looking good. But props to Boston College for getting the win there. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up briefly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show for today. Again, I apologize. I'm still trying to get over this cold allergy thing that I have. So don't think I was crying on the show, because I know there was a comment the other day about that. I'm not crying. It's just I got some congestion that I'm trying to get over, which, again, I'm better than I was, but still not there yet. So hopefully we get there eventually, so you don't hear me, sounding the way I do. But that's where we're at right now. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow. Make sure to check out all the other shows. Give the other shows some love. And, yeah, so until then, I'm Kenneth Runefelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.